I always have a little problem with starting the videos. I don't like to be like these Americans, you know, they're so boring. They want to make a video about something, and then the introduction is half of the fucking video going into the history of something they like to talk about. And basically they never get to the point, you know. The video is that long, but when they get to the point it's like that much. So, first, why I left Germany after only a few months? Well, short and clear. I liked it there, but if I had worked for German people, I would have stayed. But I went there and I went to our people. You know, it was like their business, small business. And there are many details within the story which I'm not going to tell you right now, but I didn't like that. And no, don't go to our people. We're not good. Not entirely good. And I bet if I worked for German people, a German guy or something, I would have stayed. They appreciate what you do for them, and they don't hide things in order to be like, how do I say this, more important than you or the rest of the world, which our people do. I find it as an obstacle. Plus, there is one other thing. I didn't want to go anywhere actually, but I didn't want to go anywhere, and I said it, you know, I'm just going somewhere to just save my life, you know, and which I did, obviously. But I didn't expect to go back that early, that soon. Plus, there is another thing, you know, it made me aware of something else, of this hypocrisy of those, well, of the people here and the people there and people everywhere. Yeah, I know it's everywhere, but it made me aware of, you know, I compared the prices over there and over here. The same product costs like at least 30-40% less. I'm usually not the kind of a type that goes and compares the prices like a fucking idiot, you know, because I have nothing to do in my life. But, you know, this deserves to be told. The food here, you know, people over here, they work for like, I don't know, maybe 600-700 euros, but there it's all full of poisons, you know. We imported many products from these countries, you know. It doesn't have to be Germany, you know, necessarily Germany, but we've imported many foods from outside of my country in order to have better lives, you know. This better lives is just an excuse for criminal activities, you know. And you're gonna eat what I give you, you're gonna do what I tell you, you're gonna live the way I command you. Who the fuck are you? And who are you? Where are you? You some kind of god? No, you're not. And let me tell you something else, you know. I hate this European Union bullshit. When I was in Germany, I had problems with Well, I had problems with my mobile phone. And I asked these people, oh, can you buy me a German, like Deutsche Telekom number, so that I can have a German number. And the guy said, okay, when I go, I don't know, somewhere, I'll buy one for you. And I said, okay. The problem is this. It's just a mobile phone, and it's just a fucking stupid number. And he bought one for me. And the problem is, they ask you can't activate the number without giving since I'm a stranger, I have to give some kind of ID. You have to have some kind of ID. So you give your ID, you give your personal data, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. They asked for it. And somebody did it for me. And in the end, you know what they did in the end? No, it's not sufficient. The data about myself, all my, how can I say this? All my data that I gave them, that I sent them, no, it's not sufficient. They asked for my fucking passport. Well, I joined the fucking European Union not to have a passport. Who are you kidding? And when I came here, so I didn't stay for like too long, to cut the story short. When I came here, suddenly it's like that over here. Except, when you buy, for example, this new number that you're gonna use, you have to do the same fucking thing. Why? Well, because Deutsche Telekom bought our telecom. So we can eat shit, basically, and be controlled by some other authorities. Fuck off. That's all I can say to you. Then, this narcissistic behavior of our people. I never bothered with all this psychological bullshit, with too much psychological bullshit. Yes, it is interesting, but in my country, what they did in my country, like 20 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, they came with their shopping malls and shopping centers and blah, 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 million stuff to buy, which I can't buy. I can never buy anything because I never have anything. And plus, at that time, maybe 20-25 years ago, you couldn't get out of the country. You needed a work permit or something, whatever. They employed, actually, what was happening? They wanted somebody to work in those places, whatever they are. And they hired, actually, psychologists to come to the job interview. And the job interview was like to work as a salesman in the fucking shop, And so they have these kind of stupid questions, tricky questions. It's not a tricky question, it's a stupid question. It's just a stupid question. That's what it is. Because how much fucking intelligence do you need when somebody asks for a job that includes putting things on the shelves and charging something and give the change back, to a customer? How much fucking intelligence do you need? Alien fucking intelligence? No. And this is why people started to leave. They started to leave this country. So the other ones just came here, which leads to another problem, In the last 5 years, 6 maybe, something like that, they started to, there are people just left these places, And because the working conditions were not bad, but they were impossible. And we're not good bosses. We're just not that kind of mentality, you know. And that's why people, they prefer to go to Germany, to Switzerland. They go to, some people went to England or what's it called, Ireland. I know some people who went to Norway because I can't say anything about working conditions, but people know how to behave there, you know, when they employ someone. And I'm not going to go into all the details. I'm just going to tell you that we're not that kind of mentality. We're not for big business. We're not actually for any business. That's why we like simple things. But generally, when I look at it, like generally, we have these human, how do you say, weaknesses, like everyone else does. We become too demanding and too greedy very fast. So, yes, I wanted to, let me add something else to this one, you know. I already spoke about that one too. You know, this is a fucking fascism. You know, they import foods with dangerous pesticides. How can you import in my country, for example, in my country, Alnatura products? You know what is Alnatura? It's like some kind of biofood. Biofood is supposed to be healthy, you know. So I don't trust you anymore. Germany as a country, you know, just generally, I've lost trust in them. Their products are not, how do I say, they're not good anymore. Like 40, 50 years ago, it was like, when something was made, when it says made in Germany, it was like, oh my God, you know, lucky you, you know. But today, it's just fucking poison. Everything we import from somewhere, this one, it doesn't have to be Germany 100%, but it usually is. It's either some kind of bullshit pesticide that will poison me and my kids, my grandkids maybe. You know, kids like cakes, they like... well, they found some shit in fresh fruits too. Do you eat that in Germany? No, you don't. You export shit into my country. So basically, I'm kind of tired of it. I don't trust you anymore. Why should I buy your product? I remember we lived in communism before. It wasn't strictly like strict communism like Hungary was, or Romania, Jesus Christ, you know. Yeah, it is Jesus Christ, you know. When I remember that. And I've known some Romanians who, well, they told me how they lived in the 70s and the 80s. So, oh God. But, as I said, I don't trust you anymore. I don't trust this European bullshit. It's just bullshit that they export half of the things are fucking poisonous. Why should I eat your food? Why should I buy something from you? You live off of my fucking money, you know? But you bring me shit and poison all the time. And don't worry, you know, many Germans come to the seaside into my country, and don't worry, you'll be eating the same poison here. As tourists, of course. And we'll take your money for it. That's it. And yeah, I wanted to say about this, you know, we import something, one product, salmonella. We import another product, salmonella, you know, every day, one product, just one product is pulled off the shelves. So who's fucking who? You don't know who's drinking, who's paying in this European Union. It's all about the money. Of course, everything is about money. I don't blame you people. I don't blame myself. I don't blame anyone. But you know, I'm better off without you. And without your stupid trade. Oh, yes, I wanted to say something about something else too. About how it's going to be in the future. In the future, the old times will come back. And you'll be happy to have a wife or a husband next to you. You'll be happy. Because a man who has a flock of sheep will be a rich man. Or a herd of cows, whatever. Let me tell you something else. I already mentioned it in the video called Water of Life. That's what it's called, Water of Life, in English. And let me tell you something about this topic, about misogyny in the world, you know, about men. I'll try to be short. I always say that, but then again, I have to say this and this and that, and it turns out to be a long video, but what can I do? About misogyny. It kind of comes almost naturally for men to behave in that manner. And we women know that, you know. We're not stupid. You made us stupid because we have to be your servants, you know, since the beginning of times. And it's all very useful and wonderful and like normal when everything is done out of gratitude and love, and you know, I love you, and that's why I do things, do that or that for you or because of you, you know, so that you can feel good. But it's obviously not the case with everyone. And more, as the time goes by, people are a little bit less human. And more we'll find that people are less and less human. And the way we accepted all these gadgets and, you know, mobile phone and this and that, the small gadgets that we have, man-made bullshit, in the same manner we adopted all of them, we're just gonna throw away them in 5 seconds. And let me tell you something else, you know, I spoke to my friend. Let me tell you that women, especially younger women, they don't usually, you know, this is an illusion of the man's world, you know. If they talk about women all the time, you know, oh, women this, women that, I already said that in my video, you know, the man who talks about women this, women that, women, you know, he doesn't know anything about them. He has needs, he knows he has needs, he knows something about them, but he knows actually nothing about them. And when you're a woman and you get a little bit older, you're not like 20 years old, 25, you see that this is all the same shit, different package, you know. And how do I explain this in English? It's all the same shit, different package. And most, not all of them, but most of the real relationships with them is just transactional. Just a transaction. It's a trade. Marriage usually is a trade. You know, my friends, I watch my friends get married and, you know, whatever. Only 2 of them are still married. And they live in those marriages. And let me tell you something. One of them lives like, maybe I can say more traditional kind of life. I don't know. A little bit more to the tradition. And the other one, you know why her marriage is very like successful? Why he's still alive? Because she has more money than him. What does that tell you? That everything is fucking transactional. So, my friend is coming from Canada. She is, I think, 44 or 45 years old, and we spoke on the phone, I think last week. And she said, oh, you know, I'm sick and tired of this Canada, you know, because, you know, 10 years ago, everybody wanted to go to Canada. Everybody I know, you know, go to Canada. And today, they're all coming back because Canada is full of shit. It's a country full of shit. And it's becoming worse and worse. It's not such a problem to work or get a job, work. You can find it, you can survive. But there are some other things. I'm not going to mention them in this video. But let me finish what I wanted to say. We spoke about well, everything, like generally everything. When are you coming back and this and that, blah blah blah. And we both mentioned men and women, like relationship, marriage, something like that. And I said, oh my God, I wish they're so good, you know, in bed. I talked about sex, you know. I wish they're so good, you know, they like to talk about this and that. It's not true they're so good in bed. It's not true at all, you know. And she just laughed, she understood, you know. And, but you don't know until you try. And when you try, it's already over. It's already too late. And I remember there was an interview somewhere, some kind of newspaper, whatever. And they interviewed some actresses that work here. They work here in the theater, you know, theater actresses. And, you know, and one of them, she said, oh, I think, you know, I think we go backstage and we have a cup of coffee and we talk, and we usually talk about men. Most of them are married women. We actually laugh at men all the time. And she said, we laugh at them. And she said that I think that they're lower species than we are, you know. And I remember every other woman who told me the same, basically with different words, but it's the same thing. They are lower creatures. I remember my friend's mother, and she told me this 20 years ago. She can be my mother too. And 20 years ago, she told me, you know, they're so weak, so feeble. They're totally powerless without us. You know, I was a little younger. I remembered it to this day. But I was a little younger. I didn't see it like 100% that way. But today I do. We can live without you. And the more and more women just basically we started to get jobs and work, because many of those men they're just commanders of our life. Like 100 years ago, they were just commanders of our life. Who gave you the authority to be the commander of everybody's life or somebody's life? And that's why, of course, they like to. They did then, and they still do. They like very young girls, you know, because they're very young, they're inexperienced in the world. They will look at him as the commander and the god in her life. And and number 3, there'll be no way out. That's why they invented marriage, so that he can always be having one servant, or at least just one servant. People didn't have doctors in the old days, like 500-600 years ago, 1,000 years ago. They didn't have doctors. They only had God's mercy to be healthy. So many women died at birth. So